Hello, everyone. I decided to come on a minute or two early because the dead silence was just too much. Hi, Arlene. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Clint. So what's everyone up to today? Hopefully Christy will be here pretty soon. Oh, speak of the devil, there she is. Hey, Sunshine.
How are you?
I'm okay. I've been kind of fighting the vertigo wanting to come on, but I think I'm ahead of it, so.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yep. So I needed to sling some paint terribly bad.
All right, so do I.
So I'm jelly plating today, but I gotta show what I did. Okay, so first of all, I have a lot of jelly plates because I bought whatever the minimum was from Jelly Arts years and years ago. I mean, probably pushing 20 years ago. And for the bead store, because I taught jelly plating in the bead store and then we made beads and stuff with it. Well, when she closed, I took all of the leftovers back because I paid for them, right? So I have cut some up and made smaller ones for myself because I wanted them. So I made some new ones this morning from some that still hasn't been cut up yet. So I have this single chevron thing. And then I have, I'm going to call this my Twix bar because that's just what it reminds me of.
It really does.
And then I just put the triangles from that chevron thing on here. And at first, when I put them on, all of these, I was like, well, I don't know how straight those lines are and whatever. Well, then I realized I cut them through the plastic, and the side with the plastic is way straighter.
Oh, gosh.
It didn't shift, you know? So I'm kind of excited about it. I haven't tried them yet.
Arlene says it's a Kit Kat bar.
Yep, that's what it looks like. Now, you know, I'm going to have to go to the store and get some candy bars.
Here.
But I've had a lot of printing errors trying to figure out the color book and all. So that's what I'm doing. I'm taking care of all my printing errors. And I wanted to show this just in case anybody knows if you don't cover your put your jelly plate up good. I don't know if you can see that dent. Yeah, you can. I didn't know, but it was in here crooked, so it was going down like that. So now I have this permanent dent. I mean, it might be really cool, but it just shows you need to pay attention what you're doing.
Yeah. I think somewhere I have one that has, it looks like it, like something poked a little circle in it. Hey, Barbara.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hi, Barbara. And see,
that was discouraging.
Can you see like all the veinies on this?
Oh, yeah.
When a friend of mine moved, this is what her jelly plate looked like. She says, well, it's ruined. I'm never going to use it. And I said, okay, I'll take it. This makes some of the best ever patterns. It's so cool. You get to jelly plate in one swoop, you know?
Yeah.
So what are you working on today, Miss Christy?
One of these art journals. I don't know which one yet. This one is just it's a composition book. And then this one is an old ledger my husband gave me that I decided to turn into an art journal because there is a ton of empty pages, and the stuff in the front is cool. So why not?
Mm-hmm. Sounds good to me.
But yeah, this was apparently a lab record from, it says September 19th, 1904 in U of Minnesota. And what's really funny, and the reason why I loved this so much, and I thought it was so cool that Ken gave this to me, somewhere in here, he's got an entry where the teacher marked him down for spelling. And I'm like, for his handwriting alone, he should have gotten an excuse. You know, I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous, but I thought, well, if nothing else, this would be, now I'm never going to find the page again, but he's even got, look at the little picture there. How cool is that?
Yeah.
And that is that's a percolator.
Wow.
So, yeah, and it has a recipe for syrup of ipecac. I will not be cooking that anytime. But yeah, just cool stuff. Yeah, and oh yeah, he got in trouble here because he didn't capitalize. How about that?
Oh my goodness. I'd hate to see somebody correct my writing.
You know, and that's, I tell Allie, she's got it really good because they start kids with phonetic spelling in school. Mm-hmm. And so these kids can get by with anything. Hi, Brittany. But yeah, and I just look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh. So, but yeah, so I was going to glue some pages together and then just see where the spirit took me. I haven't done art journaling in a long time, and I'll be honest, I kind of need to do some art journaling.
Yeah, I understand that. I have a new book that I'm working on, just collecting right now, and I think I've determined I want the whole thing on ledger paper because it's going to just go with the style of what I'm going to put in there.
What kind of book? Do you have it handy or no?
No, I haven't even started. I've only been collecting pictures, but I have over 200 pictures. So I'll have to break it down a little bit, or it'll be like, 6-8 inches thick. So
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And it's just going to be a book it's not going to be a journal per se. It's just going to be a book,
That's good.
Did you see me working on this the last time? Were you there? I don't remember.
I do remember. Did you finish?
Yeah. So there's the binding.
So make yourself big. We want to see it.
I'm already big enough. Hi, Brittany. So I've used the silk seam binding. And I tried several things, but I just had to have this little butterfly button on there. So I just poked a hole and put a bobby pin on the back to hold it in place.
That's cool.
And then you can close it like this and just let them hang because it's tight enough. And I intend to do this as my own. I'm not going to do anything else. Of course, the first mistake I made is I put in, this was supposed to be right here. And I do that, oh golly, I hate to think, over half the time. And I think I'm starting in the front and I'm not. And I end up having what I wanted in front and the back. So, but I read magazines back to front too. So maybe that's what it is. So I haven't done much to this.
Well, maybe you were Japanese in another life and you read your books back.
Yep. So anyway, it's just painting papers, and I use a lot of my Amy papers because I have almost a whole file cabinet drawer full of them now. And then there's some collages and just some fun things. I'm not going to put there's a few pockets like right here because the paper was bigger. But I just want this to be my work it in book and do what I want.
Right.
And so that's what I'm doing. Nothing fancy. But it does have 4 signatures, 5 signatures, and some washi tape stuff and little quotes. This one didn't have enough room, so it came over here. And I like things sticking out, so I'm working on that. But I just love this. I mean, this was so much fun. The binding wasn't hard, but you do one end and then you do the other, and I had 3 of them in when I realized I was doing it wrong. So I did have to start over again. But that's okay.
I love the way you use color. You know, it's whenever I get into the bright colors, I end up 9 times out of 10 making mud. It's, you know, with dotting, it's separate, so it's more forgiving. But when you mix the colors together, it's, oh goodness, I don't do so good. But I'm working on it.
Yep. I don't know. I don't pay attention to it. I just do it. I really don't pay attention. So I misprinted a bunch of address sticker labels. And it's sticker paper. My goodness, you can't throw sticker paper away. So before we got on, I just smidgened some black around, and we're going to see what happens when you jelly plate with the black up instead of going color up to the black. We'll see.
Oh, and Ken is going to, by the way, before I forget, he's going to come in here and make sure that my scanner is hooked up. So
cool.
She did 2 color pages, and so I've just got to take a kneaded eraser to it. But that's okay.
That's okay.
Let's see. Here. I love parchment paper. I know it crinkles and people don't like crinkling, and I'm sorry. But truly nothing sticks to it. Nothing at all.
So we've been on for 12 minutes and I already have a mess.
That's how it's supposed to be.
That's right.
Well, Brittany, you have come to the right place, my friend. There will be crinkling. Now, have you tried any of these markers yet from the Dollar Tree?
I don't know if I've tried that one or not. I tried some metallic ones and liked them. And they have one that they called a glass paint pen or something like that.
Okay.
And it was permanent.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's cool.
But I don't see it in here. I could have already used it up. I do tend to do that a lot. I use it up and then I just, once it quits, I scribble with it. If it don't come back, it's gone.
Arlene says, neat and tidy crafters are a little scary. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I concur. And it's funny, like at the end of the day, I tidy up in here and then I come in the morning and it takes about, 5 minutes and it's just trashed.
Yeah, it doesn't take me very long, but at some point when all my stuff starts coming in towards me right here, I have to stop and move it.
Right.
But that doesn't happen a lot. Just sometimes. And it's really close already.
It's like, what did there was a commercial sometime that talked about the creep, and I can't remember exactly what it was talking about, but like stuff closing in on you.
Yeah. Well, I have a ton of jelly plates out. I have very little paint and all kinds of stencils, and everything just kind of grows, you know?
Yep.
It's all right. It'll all work out. It's just like it's supposed to be.
Sorry, my camera angle is really messed up here. Okay. Hopefully that'll work.
I don't mind if my area is messy all around me, but this little bitty section right here, I need to have a minimum of 12 inches or I feel claustrophobic.
Makes sense. So you guys, this is definitely kind of out of my norm. So this is probably not going to look anything even near the way it's supposed to, but I saw somebody do it in a video and it looked like so much fun.
That's what it's supposed to be. So if it's fun, then it's right.
Okay. Well, and it's going to be as right as it can be. And I mean, it's weird because like this morning, I was trying to get some stuff done before I logged onto the computer. And one of the things, there aren't really that many things where like if I run out, I can't, adapt.
Mm-hmm.
Except Fabri-Tac.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, with the traveler's notebooks and stuff, if I use anything else, it just buckles.
Yeah.
And so I had to go out in public.
I'm sorry.
It was bad. But I got through it. But by the time I got back, I was like, okay, I'm going to have some time just to get messy or something, or I'm not going to be able to get my head straight. It's very, very tense out in the world right now. And I don't like it. Well, I had 2 rolls of masking tape. Here we go.
I actually even talked my hubby into just taking a letter to the post office today. And it only had to be driven through and dropped off. And I still didn't want to do it. It required getting dressed earlier,
Yep. Arlene said several years ago, Mary had been crafting for 4 or 5 hours live. The creep had completely taken over. She just gave everything a shove and oh my gosh.
Oh no.
See, I'd do that, but with my luck, I'd hit the paint water or something.
I can't do that because my table's up against the wall. So.
There we go. Now I feel better. Let's do some Shakespeare. Henry IV. When Allie and I were on the call with Janet Nash, she was talking about the different kings and queens of England. And I want to say she was talking about Henry IV, and I had to burst into song of Henry VIII, which was totally different, but
yeah,
it was still funny in my world.
I get that.
Put that down the middle. But I got all kinds of inks and stuff out here to drizzle with. Okay. You got your thumbs up, Jean.
Yay.
You gave yourself one, right?
No, I don't even go into YouTube when I'm on StreamYard.
Oh.
It's just too much work for this little old lady.
Oh, I understand. Multitasking.
When I heard about my cousin being in the hospital with COVID, and I had to look up to see for sure how old he was. And I knew he was older than me, but then reality of age kind of kicked in. I was like, oh man.
Yeah. Have you heard any updates on how he's doing?
Well, he's out of ICU.
Oh, that's good.
And I feel like it is good because he's never been a smoker, so he's got, probably got a little bit stronger lungs than a non-smoker. I mean, I don't know what difference that makes. I'm just, I just tend to look for all the good positive things. Hi, Susie.
Hey, Susie. It actually makes a huge difference because, part of what happens is the air sacs in the lungs get stiffer and they can't expand, when you're a smoker. And then COVID kind of has a lot of the same effect. And so if he is not a smoker, then that is fantastic because, it's just to his advantage even more.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking.
Yep. Absolutely.
These are pretty ugly cool. I'm not going for perfection. I'm going for my own collage materials.
Hold it up one more time. I love that. I absolutely love that.
You can see the maze in the background, and that's what makes it. Maybe I need to just print this maze 100 times and jelly print them, because that's what this one has too. This was cleaning up my jelly plate before I started.
Oh, that is cool. How are you doing?
I hope you're feeling better, Susie. I don't know if I got a sixth sense about color or if I'm just damn lucky, because I really don't think about it. I just pick up a color I want next.
I think you have a sixth sense.
I don't know. But I'm also willing to just go over it again if it's not right too. So paint and paper.
Found my focal points. Train's coming.
Yeah. I'm going to try something I've never done before. I don't think it's going to work. It's not really going to work. You don't think it's going to work? No, not those two. Let's see.
Oh, Susie, that is wonderful. Thank you for letting us know.
Oh, that makes me happy, happy, happy.
Ooh. Oh,
Still
that's
need more. I don't know what I'm looking for, but I know I want something weird. What can I say? It is who I is.
Let's see. There we go.
Okay. I am going. Where are you? There you are.
Couple more things I want to do here, and then we're gonna start slinging paint, y'all.
So if you're going to make that an art journal, you just going to play in it?
Yep.
Good
just
girl.
for me to play in. I mean, I even all I really did with the cover was I cleaned it. Not really that it was dirty or anything, but it had been in a chemistry lab, so I thought it might be a pretty good idea. And then I just did the snippet roll around the side to kind of make sure that it wouldn't fall apart on me.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, this is just, it's not to practice dotting or anything. It is 100% for me to play.
But if you want to dot, you can dot because it's yours.
Right. Yep. I think the problem is I end up, once I start like working on something that has to do with dots, then it becomes like, oh, well, I'm practicing for, you know, this or that piece of work. And then, you know, then I end up putting pressure on myself and it's not fun anymore. So with this, it's going to be fun. Arlene says, of course, Jean wants something weird.
Well, hello, birthday girl.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, Miss Care. Yep, Care said it should be play. Absolutely.
Well, you should look.
I was even looking around, like trying to figure out, oh, well, you know, what are other people doing in their art journals? And then I thought, no.
You know, a lot of times I get into the Pinterest. Oh, look, I even painted my watch band.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I was tired of gray.
You'll remember. You'll look down at your watch band and think, I had fun that day.
Yeah, I will. Let's see what happens when I do my messed up jelly plate. It didn't pull up enough to do anything. It must be too dry. Which is not quite, but let's see. Yeah, I don't want to fling paint. I want to fling tools. Evidently.
So yeah, we had 2 copies of one of these Elephant and Piggy books. I think like I had gotten a copy and then Allie had a copy from, I don't know, like a book club or something like that. So she let me have one so I could cut out the images because I love these little characters from the Elephant and Piggy books.
Cool.
I've even got a t-shirt with them on it. I'll have to wear it to the bus stop one day when I go out to get her. Ken wanted to get a dinosaur costume so he could go out and get her in the dinosaur costume. I was like, don't you dare. It's too early in the year.
That's funny.
Maybe like on the last day of school, you know?
You know, I am royally making a mess over here. You'd think I didn't know what I was doing.
I think a mess is a sign that, you know, you actually are quite the expert at what you're doing.
You think?
Oh, I love that green. There is something about like that pale blue and the pale green that people use in mixed media. It's so nice.
All right, things are falling over.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Not spilling though. You gotta
I don't
try.
have anything out that could spill except my tea.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the other direction, so hopefully it's safe. If I just pay attention and not get too much ink on my jelly plate, then it would be okay. All right, I'm going to make Arlene a Kit Kat bar. I am a mess today.
That is so cool. See, now I want a Kit Kat bar. No, I have my snack. I have come up with this snack that is so good. Allie and I have it when she gets home from school, and it's the simplest thing. It's graham crackers with peanut butter and jelly.
I'm sorry. I don't do peanut butter.
I love peanut butter. Way too much.
Unless it's Reese's peanut butter cups. Then I'll do peanut butter.
Where is my gesso? Wait, here it is. Got it.
Hi, Christine.
Hello, KK. Oh, and I pulled out this quote from my stuff to put in here, and this is perfect for today. In the end, hope was not found in the pretty and perfect journal, but rather in the expression of the mess.
I'm spot on today.
You're nailing it.
Yep.
I'm right behind you. I'm getting there, man.
You know, and I did move things in here so I had a little more space. I should have known when I used to go to Crops, I couldn't do an 8-foot table. I needed to. But I have all these fun things that I'm trying, you know? All my cut up jelly plates.
You said you have an 8-foot table?
Yeah, I can't do an 8-foot table. I need 2 of them. I just can't. I have to have everything at arm's reach in my head. And I don't know why, because I don't use all of these all the time. Like the markers could really go somewhere else, because I almost always take that into the living room to work on. But it just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Okay. Let's go with this one.
Okay, I am going to mute while I dry this.
Well, I hope you at least have ice cream in the house, Care. Oh my goodness. I am getting really good at this mess thing. Who knows if these
Arlene says she's got a 3.5-foot craft desk. I don't know what 1, 2. Yeah, that's probably what this is. It's like a drafting table, I guess.
Well, see, I guess here, let's see if we can do this. This is my table space. Oh, let's see. So there's the computer. Then I have that thing. Then I have my Lazy Susan with my tools. my colored pencils, and then there's some glue there. And then these little drawers right here hold stuff like ink pads and some tools and stuff. And then over there, if you can kind of see them sticking out from the wooden thing, that's my marker box, which it really could go somewhere else. It's just doing it and finding the somewhere else, because that's the tough part, finding the somewhere else, because I need to at least be able to roll over and get them, because I'm just lazy like that.
Everybody raise their hands if they want to play at Jean's desk.
Oh, now that's the thing. If somebody comes over and wants to play, I will make room. You see, I also have over on the other side of me a 5-foot table, but it's covered with my die machine and all my dies. It's never going to be completely right, ever. I don't anticipate it. I don't expect it. Not even sure I really want it, because if I have it where it's supposed to be, then I won't have anything to bitch about. I think that's my problem, is my computer's on here. And if I could, I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe I'll go find me a handyman. I thought I married one, but he's only handy when he wants to be sometimes.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, I shouldn't say that. He usually does make or do what I need, but, unfortunately it takes, being told for 6 months.
I'm sure that's coming at some point. Now it's almost like I have to make sure that when I tell Ken something that I'm ready to, it's because I'm going to have to move the furniture, and he's going to get in there. He's going to do it.
Yeah.
He's kind of almost like me. It's like, if I don't do it, I'll forget it unless I write it down. And he's not a journaler, so.
Oh, well, pooh, that didn't pick anything up. Hardly. Oh, but look what it did. Look, there's my map.
That is a map. Oh, it's not a map. It is a map.
Looks like one, doesn't it?
It really does. Like, almost kind of creepy.
Yeah. Oh. Guess I'll put green on top of it since it's still not wanting to pull up totally. I'm trying to use up my paints. I got lots and lots of partial bottles, and I want them all used up.
Well, apparently it is a lot warmer in here than I thought it was, because I had my watercolor palette in my, I guess I have like what you would call a little, I don't know, travel thingy. And it like liquefied and started dripping.
Uh-oh.
Because of course, right? So now I've got mixes of oranges and reds and my purple.
It's still pretty, but it ain't pulling it all up again. But it's still cool. Actually, I'm calling this one done.
Oh, that's nice. I was going to say, what about, is it that side of the jelly plate? You need to, I don't know, go after it with some packing tape or something?
Don't say the word CLEAN. Don't say that. I don't clean my jelly plates. until I absolutely don't have another choice.
Okay.
And I think we're almost there. We're going to see what happens.
Hey, Barbara, did you get some coffee? Hang on, Drow.
I like that one too a lot. I couldn't do that one again if I tried. And I don't know, maybe I'm not pushing hard enough in the right places.
You know what? I think I want to get out my real paints. Not that these aren't real paints, but like the heavy artillery.
There you go.
Let's put the watercolors there.
Oh, look, it's got ghosts on it.
Oh! Well, it's that time of year, you know.
Mm-hmm. It's all right. I'll keep playing. It doesn't want to pull up. That's all right. You can just stay right there until it drives me crazy, which can happen. And it's not a very long drive.
Here, okay. All right, let's get the paint. Hi, Candy.
Hi, Candy.
Delete here. Let's see. Y'all, I don't know what in the world. This camera's about to make me crazy. There we go, I think. It's gonna have to do for me. Let me see. Ooh, bearded violet. Now this is where I get lost. I start looking at, ooh, I like that color and that color. Go. I thought I had.
All right, you're starting to tick me off.
I'm sorry. I'll stop.
Okay. When all else fails, flip the jelly plate.
I thought I had some magenta. I'm fairly sure I do. Somewhere. There we go. Yep. Bazinga. Ooh, look at that stencil.
I like this one.
Now she's just showing off. Now she's bringing out like the fancy stuff, y'all.
No. I actually pulled out all my stencils I wanted to use before I even started. You didn't have to hear me squeaking around, turning around.
Okay, Arlene, we'll see you in a bit. I hope.
Bye, Arlene.
Let me see what I'm going to do first. Okay, I'm going to do some enabling here. Apologize ahead of time. This stuff, the soft body ones, and the muted colors, they are so pretty. I really like
where do you get those?
I know, well, they have them at the Michaels by my house, but for the most part, honestly, for me, it's the same price at Amazon. So everything has gotten so darn expensive no matter where you go. So it just might as well.
Ooh.
So let's see. I want muted violet. And I know I have muted turquoise here somewhere, and I'm going to find it. Here it is.
Ooh.
And then they have, yeah, they're acrylics, Candy. This is the soft body and then the heavy body. Somehow heavy body just speaks to me a little better. I wonder why. Let's see. And it's really neat because when you like lighten it or mix, even just kind of swirl it up with some white, it is so pretty. A little bit to this turquoise. Maybe a little bit too much. But yeah, Candy, they've got, I mean, not even only muted colors, you can get all kinds of colors, and they're fun. The soft body ones, they're fun to paint with. They are fun to dot with. The heavy body ones, I just more use a sponge. More do stuff like this with it, but the soft body for dotting is really fun. Just a little bit. Let me do some of the big green down on the bottom. See, I already got it all over me. Look at that.
That sounds cool, Barbara.
Ooh. Oh, I'll bet that is gorgeous too. Yeah, that is one thing about Liquitex. It works really good, and it, you know, doesn't kill your wallet as bad as Golden paints do. Not that it doesn't kill your wallet, but just not as bad. Just got into it. Let's see.
See, it's not perfect, but I intend to use it in bits and pieces.
I think it looks great.
I think it'll be good.
Those colors have just decided that they are going to do all the right things for you today.
I guess.
Okay, so that's the muted green.
I think you are ready for a jelly session, Barbara. It has done wonders for me. Well, I didn't pick anything up, but I have this pretty black mess there. I was pretty sure I had too much paint on there.
Okay, and I have a question, and I thought maybe I was going to wait to ask next week, but when Johnny Jelly plates, she does like image transfers.
Mm-hmm.
She uses black gesso on Jelly plate.
Oh.
So what about, is it just that it has that extra gritty in it, or what is it about it that makes it, work so well? I'd almost see when I saw her doing it, I thought, oh, that's going to ruin the jelly plate, and it didn't.
Yeah, I have never used gesso on mine. Maybe that's why my image transfers never work well. Ooh, see, I had too much paint. Look what happened.
Woo! Oh, that's pretty.
Which is okay, it's still paper. It's still going to be used in collage. Get this little piece up here that... Oh, I just love this. Not this, but this. But this can put some white paint and colors on it, and it'll be fine.
You think you can get another ghost of that, or do you think it's pretty much done?
Yeah, it's done. There's nothing on there.
Pooey.
Well, that's how I am. One and done. For some reason, this is my very favorite color of paint. It's the Apple Barrel. No, it's the Anitas, which is even cheaper. And it is Hawaii. Ooh, I like that Dirty Brayer look.
Ladies and gentlemen, in today's fashion show, we are going for the Dirty Brayer look. Let's see Jean as she comes down the catwalk. She is working.
Let's go with this stencil.
Yeah, Candy, it must, it's got to be something to that effect, because she very rarely, I've watched her jelly plate, and I mean, it's first of all, it's just fun to watch her do it. It's so cool, but she rarely gets a miss, whereas like with me, if I'm doing that, it's not even 50-50. There's like a 70-30 shot that it's going to be a fail,
It's like this. It's paper. Put another layer of paint on it. Paint it white, and then you're back to where it was. But it's got texture then. Ooh.
Oh, that is nice. That is really nice.
I have a new idea.
What kind of stencil was that?
This one was from Joggles, I think. I don't know who made it, but I think it was from Joggles. That's the only place I've bought from lately, or for a while anyway.
I know, Barbara.
You know, that is a hard thing to cover up your backgrounds. But, you know, all those famous people do it all the time. And I'm like, stop, stop.
Just got to do something here. There's something. There, that's a little better.
Okay, so what do I want to, I know what I want to do. I know. I know so much what I want to do. I almost started singing. Sorry, didn't mean to scare y'all. Yeah.
Some of that to blend. There we go. Now it's working. I don't know what I did there, but it's working now. Now we're cooking with gas. Some of that print's coming through. That's what I want. That's better. See, I got somewhere. Not here. Ooh. So it's here. Yep. You know what? Nope, I'm gonna keep going. I was almost like, well, maybe I should start another, and then no, I'm not. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna stay in it. Don't let me give up, June.
Don't. If you don't like it, you paint over it, you draw on it, you doodle it, you make it you. Those are orders. Oh, my jelly plate has a dimple right there. That's why it was on the other side.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. You have any big plans for this weekend?
Well, actually, yes. I am going to probably tomorrow, because the weather is supposed to be absolutely amazing. There is a mural downtown, and the lighting and everything is going to be just perfect. So I'm going to go and try to get some pictures of the mural. And
Cool.
then the rest of the time, just goof off and edit the pictures and put them with the other pictures. And I had an idea for, I've got like 3 different versions of a cover for what I'm working on.
Uh-huh.
And one of them is a picture that I got when I was up in Philadelphia. And it's basically somebody left an empty bottle of Hennessy on the side of the road, just right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, that's a good picture. And so I took a picture of it. And I remember thinking at the time, Boy, that'd be fun to put on the cover.
That's cool.
Yeah. It was just kind of one of those weird moments. Do I have anything green? It's not easy being green. I don't think peacock feathers is it's not the green I'm looking for. Well, it might end up having to be the green that I use.
Okay, now we have to put this in the oven to dry for a while.
You putting it in the oven?
To pretend oven.
Did anyone else notice how it looked like everything just sort of disappeared really fast and kind of strange?
This?
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, we're going to let it cook and dry for a little bit. Pretend cook and pretend oven. And then we're going to clean up our mess because it's at that point. Yep.
All right, have we gotten there now?
Yeah, we've gotten there. Well, we're not going to exactly clean up. We're just going to finish up some starteds. You know, finish up a few pages that are floating around so there's more that can be made. And since I use so much of this for my collages and I cut it up and use it in other things, you know how your pages leave the white borders? I always try to add something to it when I'm adding, because I use black and white all the time. So it just kind of adds a little extra element to it when you're going to cut it up and use it.
Oh, that's cool. Here we go.
So sitting behind me, I have a metal cabinet that it has 30 drawers in it, and it's like the drawers are like 16 inches deep, 3 inch or deep into the cabinet, 3 inches deep in the drawer, and 10 inches wide. And they are so stinking cool. And that's my drying rack. I pull out every other shelf in each column, and that's where they dry. So I always have to make sure there's something that's not going to get destroyed under there, you know. Probably one of those silly things I do, but that's okay. Oh, must be pretty warm outside because I actually, just before we went on, went and turned my air conditioner up, and it's hot in here.
Yeah, it's getting stuffy in here. I've got a fan going, but I would imagine, though, it's probably a good bit warmer where you are than it is here.
Well, it was supposed to be, I want to say they said it was 95 today.
Yep, it's warmer.
4 degrees higher than it was yesterday is what it said.
I want to do one more up here. Maybe a few little flowers right there. Let's put some happy little flowers on here, why don't we?
Aww.
Then I'm going to get out my paint pens and I'm going to put happy little flowers on here. I think. Maybe. Of course, I might do some splattering first because, you know, splattering.
Because you can.
Because I can.
I have a sign in here that says because I can. And
What's
somebody
that?
made it for me because I say it all the time. I think my stencil's kind of damp yet. Oh.
Is it double printing on you?
No, it's stuck to my hand.
Ooh, fun.
You know, I should just stencil a bunch of black and white stuff. I always put black and white in a collage, so that's pretty fun. Oh, who am I kidding? This whole thing is fun. So let's go ahead and use up the last of this black paint.
Okay, I'm going to try to brighten this up so I can make Barbara happy. So you made it all dark, covered everything up. Actually, I'm going to move this because we're about to get messy. Okay, let's see.
Barbara says, no, Christy, I'm liking it now, but whatever, I expect I'll like the whatever too.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put some stars in the sky. I've decided that maybe it's going to be a sky. Maybe. I don't know. I guess we'll know when I'm done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Kim.
Hi, Kim. You know, I can't use this little jelly plate thing I sliced into strips now without saying, slice me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Give me a break. Cool. I like that. All right, let me dry that off so I can put some more stuff on top of it here. Let's see.
Okay, it's ready out of the oven. Okay, so how's this one fit? Nope, that's not the one. Maybe. Definitely. All right, let's see if my idea is going to work now. I would say hold your breath, but that's not.
Nope, do the breathing.
Yes, breathing is important.
Oops. You know how you were talking about your shelves? I've got these lockers behind me. that, I remember when we got them, I thought there is no way I could be able to use all that space in those lockers.
Now you need another set.
Now I need another set. Yep.
I see them a lot at our little flea market thing or antique mall, whatever, but they are expensive.
You know what was funny was we found these. There was a lady that I guess she was like redoing. She had a hair salon, and so she needed to get the old ones out. And I want to say, oh gosh, I want to say Ken got them for maybe like $50.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because otherwise, if you can find them, they are ridiculously expensive, or they're just so covered in rust that you can't use them.
Yeah.
It's one or the other. And I mean, these are probably a little bit beat up, but they're certainly not rusty. And just the fact that the lockers in here are bright candy apple red.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was hilarious. Okay.
Welcome back, Arlene.
Did Arlene get back? Yay.
All right. Okay, cross your fingers. Well, it didn't work like I thought it would. But it's still pretty. What did I do wrong? I could have swore that was how I did this. But it's not. Now I know what I did wrong.
What's that?
Well, I pulled it opposite of what it really needed to be. So it's okay. It's all good. It'll be fine. I'm going to go the other way with it, and I think it'll work. And what did I say? It's just paper and paste. I'm going to use it in collage, so it's all good.
You know, I have to chuckle. Allie always knows that I'm having a really, really bad day if she hears me go, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Yellow. Where did my yellow go?
Well, I guess this is the closest of people that I'm going to find. I'll take it. All right.
Well, that's one pink for the trash. God, I have paint everywhere. Thank goodness I didn't stay in the dining room.
What's that?
I said I have paint everywhere. Good thing I didn't stay in the dining room. We're having shrimp for supper, so I didn't want to do the dining room because we'd eat at the table. Shrimp is one of the meals we eat at the table.
Oh, definitely. That actually sounds pretty darn delicious.
Well, I'm sure it's better where you're at than it is where we're at. But
What, the shrimp?
Yeah.
It's really good here. Even if by the time it gets here, it's been a couple of days, it's still delicious. Okay, I had a circle guide and I don't know where it went. I hate that.
That's awesome, Arlene.
What I miss?
A lady from her church is raising her 3 grandchildren and has an adult daughter, and their house just burned down Monday night. She shopped her house for them, and the pastor picked up 4 boxes.
That is awesome. I wish there could be more of that nowadays,
Yeah. Well, I think the majority of the people I know are good people like that, so I always feel pretty blessed.
Me too. There's a fellow online that I really, really enjoy watching his videos, and he just did one where he was, just talking about how nice it would be if people would kind of go back to just being kind, just not, I don't know. Everyone's so ready to bite the heads off of others, and biting heads off leaves a bad taste in your mouth, in my opinion. So,
yeah, I agree.
All right. Might change a little bit here, but I think there's a stencil. Yep. Sweet. Not perfect, but it's a start. Sorry about the noise. Let me
try this one. Yes, ribs sound good, especially when they're cooked like that and then they're tender. My husband seems to think he has to smoke everything. Which is okay, I suppose, most of the time, but
Yeah, I think we are. So you live alone, you don't need 6 towels. And it's funny. I think that people don't even, you think about furniture and stuff like that, but really towels, that's a big deal. And they're not cheap, Now, they used to be cheap around here when we used to have a cotton mill here, but they're not anymore, unfortunately.
Well, I tend to just use 2 sets of towels.
What's
use
that?
one, wash one.
You know what one of my favorite things, speaking of towels, Bunny Trail, in Germany, like everyone in my family has these things that hang up on the wall, and I don't know if they're connected like to the heating system or what, but they're basically, I guess, to dry your towels with.
Mm-hmm.
And they put the towels on them like while they're in the shower. So when you get out of the shower, you wrap up in a warm towel.
Oh.
That is really nice. I'm going to have to stay with Posca for this dark background. But I will say for something from the Dollar Tree, that white marker held its own.
Cool.
Wasn't quite bright enough, but I thought I'd at least give it a gander and go.
A gander.
Give it a gander and go for it.
I haven't heard anybody say that in a long time. So I'm thinking this first flower needs to be orange. That's a good idea.
I gotta make an orange flower for Jean because she's letting me hang out on her channel.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, but all my numbers are backwards. I always forget which way to put them.
That's okay. It just makes it more abstract.
See, I look at it this way. I'm using that paper that most people would probably put in the trash because they boo-booed on them. Right?
Exactly.
They printed them wrong, and I'm turning them into usable materials. So it's all good.
Oh, that's going to look cool.
What happens if we put some purple, pinky purple in there?
Come on, yellow marker. Don't go bad on me now. Come on, I just opened you up. You know, we've been going through this thing where, like, we had, you know how everything usually breaks down at the house all at one time?
Mm-hmm.
So that happened. And first was it the dryer first? It was the dryer. Yeah. And so when the dryer went out, it was like, okay, you know, well, we'll just hang up the clothes until the guy can come out to take a look at it. And so we get the appointment for him to come out. In the meantime, you know, I've got like the thing that I use to dry my papers and stuff. And I'm hanging up all the clothes and towels and everything. And of course, Ken's like, well, we've got plenty of towels. You know, you don't have to do them every day. And I'm like, okay, if I don't, then I'm going to end up having to do all of them at once because something's going to happen. And he's not going to make it out on that day and we're not going to have any towels, right? And so, let's see. So that happened. And then what was it? I forget what it was that went second now, but so now the dishwasher is shot. And so we had to get a new pump in it. And we do have some paper plates and stuff like that. But for the most part, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I'm out there, I'm washing. And, you know, again, he's like, hey, you know, and I'm like, nope. And sure enough, the guy calls today. Car trouble. I'm like, yep, see?
Oh, man. Well, my dishwasher hasn't been used, gets used maybe once a month. And we've never had to replace it. It's over, well, I don't know how old it was when we moved in, but it's been here, we've been here 15 years. But my plates, it's older, and when that thing goes around, it hits my plates.
So
oh, wow. I won't use it. I don't mind it. I don't mind washing dishes at all. I prefer to wash dishes. Somebody come sweep my floors, I'd go wash every dish they ever asked for.
Really?
Oh, yeah, in a heartbeat.
That's funny. I understand it, but it's still funny. And it's actually doubly funny because we just had at our temple, the monk had this big talk about washing dishes of all things. It was interesting too. It was about like just completely getting into washing dishes. And I'm like, well, okay, that's.
It is almost meditative. Yeah. Because for me, if my hands hurt for some reason, that just makes it, makes them feel all better.
Yep. Arlene, that's exactly what she said. She was using it as an analogy for, just putting that level of concentration in everything that you do. And it was one of those many times, where you're sitting there, and I would say pretty much any kind of, this probably happens in any kind of sermon or whatever that you would listen to, where you're like, this person reading my mail or what?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Barbara. Okay, so you're doing a studio cleaning binge. Are you going to do, there are a bunch of artists that are like doing this thing where they're doing a video and then I guess like doing, I don't know, like a corner at a time, or I don't know, 15 minutes a day. I can't remember now. And what's really funny is they're all saying, oh, this is so embarrassing. And I'm like, oh, look at all that fun stuff to play with, Thank you, Barbara. Usually when I'm watching videos, I have to lurk because I'm painting or dotting or something. But I remember a while back, it's all over everywhere. Yeah, it really. I'll have to take a look at yours, Barbara. I know I've seen Barbara do some streams with some other people, and I love watching her work. We had some very, very talented people around here. Jean, how many pages have you made? Because you are like rocking through that stuff.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That doesn't mean they're all done. But they're getting
there.
Yeah. For tearing apart and using in something, they don't have to be super good. I've got a few piles like this one. This one's going to be okay. I'm going to keep this one. It's not what I intended, but it turned out okay. And this one turned out okay.
That's another. Well, they're all yummy, but those two were especially yummy.
Now this one, he needs more attention. Looks like a sonogram.
Oh my gosh.
This one's done. This one needs more attention. I don't know about this one. I don't know if I can. I really like that, but there's not enough of the paper used. But I guess it was trash anyway, so.
Yeah, you could always trim it down, right?
Yep. And then the rest of them's just parcels that I just, I covered up the addresses on the stickers. So I have quite a few that are ready to go. I'm happy with that.
You're going to make another one of those books that you did? I love that book.
I don't know. I have no idea. My box. Okay, so I have a 12 by 12. Well, it's probably a little bit bigger than that. But, like the whole scrapbook totes that are, well, like you would put a project in, a 12 by 12, or it's probably 18 by 18, and it's about 8 inches thick. Yeah, it's full, and I think I'm about out, so.
See, I have one that's a little flatter, but I've seen those big ones that hold the scrapbook paper, and they're like almost like file boxes.
Yeah, it's big. It's when I bought the $300 worth of stuff, garage sale stuff. Bye, Barbara.
Bye, Barbara. Okay, I have to trust on the page. I'm looking forward to seeing Barbara's video. I can imagine. I'll bet she has the best studio.
Anyway, when I bought all that stuff, there was 4 or 5 boxes full of stuff in those kind of boxes. And I've slowly gotten rid of it, but I kept the boxes. Well, that was needed to be cleaned up, I guess.
Oh, Arlene, thank you for the link, dear. That's the only downside to having a darker background is you have to put a little something underneath. That's okay.
Now that's cool.
Oh, yes.
I got to quit putting too much paint on to pull it up because it's not pulling it up. And I know that. I know that when I do it, but I still do it. That's okay. I just brought this page back to white, so.
It's fine, right? It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'll have to throw a comment on Barbara's video.
Wouldn't Judy be horrible right now if this was her?
Judy would probably be unconscious by now if that was her.
Every time my hands get dirty, I think of Judy.
And what's funny is like she gets into all these different mediums and manages for the most part to do it without
clean-handed.
It's pretty impressive, actually.
It is. It is. I just never know what I'm going to do from one time to another, so mine just stay messy, I guess. Okay, what do I want to do now?
It comes off pretty easy, so why not?
Yeah. It's just paint. Well, hi, Amin.
This is cracking me up, and these people probably have like the most awesome art spaces. No, I think, but what I did in here, I mean, I still have definitely plenty of messy areas for sure. But what I did was I put everything in those like Sterilite containers and put them on little plant carts, you know, the roller carts. And so I have like a cube storage thing from IKEA. And then I have the other side of the big desk that has all my computer stuff on it. And then I just hung a curtain in front of it.
Yeah, well, you know, all I do is just close the door.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, that doesn't always work.
You know, I have a whole package of pastel typing paper that I really have never used, but I think I'm going to dig some of it out because I really like that.
Typing paper like onion skin?
No, copy paper. I'm showing my age. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I was going to say, is it embossed? Does it have the watermark? Does it?
I have a box of that. And you know what? It doesn't jelly print well.
No, but it does the best for pen pal letters. Oh, put it in a glassine envelope and then pretty vintage washi. Probably not as dark of an orange as I thought it was going to be, but that's okay.
There isn't an ugly shade of orange. So it's all good.
Well, it's kind of interesting because I did not use a whole lot of orange before. And since I've started having more time to do art with you, I am finding myself using it a lot more. Oranges and stuff.
I really seem to have that effect. My mom didn't ever like orange, and about 4 years before she died, she changed all of her dishes to orange plates. I thought that was pretty funny. Awesome. She said it was all my fault. I just said thank you and smiled and went on.
Well, just tell her it's like, now you'll come over to eat more. That's like, yeah, because you changed everything but orange. I think my mom had everything when I was growing up. It was orange, but it was like that orange and brown, you know?
Yeah.
And I used to think because we had like a brown refrigerator, orange countertops, like a brown and yellow wallpaper. And I remember thinking, God, you know, this is so ugly. And now it's like I would redo my whole kitchen in that if I could.
Yeah.
If I could just find that pattern, you know?
Yeah. It always comes around again. Somewhere down the road.
It's like most of the kitchen stuff that we have now. I mean, we try to get, it's nice to get those stainless steel appliances because they match everything, but if it's not like a stainless steel, then pretty much it's like really light teal blue, like the retro blue.
Mm-hmm.
Like the mixer is retro blue, the toaster is retro blue. Ellie's like, why don't you get pink? And it's like, well, because even though the estrogen holds the majority in the house, there's still a guy in here. So, you know, we have to compromise.
My mixer's black. And the only reason is because I bought one, a long time ago, but after my son got married, my daughter-in-law wanted one, so I just gave it to her because I don't bake much and I don't use a mixer much for that. I mean, anything else. And then 2 years ago at Gary's Christmas party, I won one. So I have a black one again.
Oh, wow. What kind is it? Is it like a stand mixer?
Yeah, KitchenAid stand mixer.
Oh, I love my KitchenAid. Especially on days where I don't feel like kneading bread and I want to make a loaf. That dough hook is a lifesaver.
Whoa, my screen is doing weird stuff.
How did that happen? We switched.
I don't know, but everything is just flashing and it's like I'm hitting the mouse or something. All these little windows keep popping up.
Is something leaning on your keyboard?
Maybe. I'll never say.
Oh.
Never
well,
mind.
You don't have to.
Gotta have dry space. What can I say? Oh.
Well, there you go.
Oh, no. Somehow I turned Photoshop on. That's what happened. And now it's... Okay, we're good. We're good. See, I was on my iPad one day, and it just kept flashing, and I couldn't change this, and I couldn't change that. I shut it down, started over, still did it. Well, I have a wireless keyboard, but it sets off somewhere else, and something was on top of it.
Oh, no.
And I was freaking out. I was like, this thing's not even a year old.
Well, you see, but you wouldn't know to even check for that unless it's something that's happened to you, right?
That's right. Well, I didn't learn to check it this time. You're the one who brought it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
oh, well. Someday I'll learn. No, I'm not. I won't. And that's okay. I'm all right with that.
Let's see. I'm going to do. So, doodle flowers. Oopsie.
Now, how did I do that? Don't work too hard on me.
See, I'm trying to doodle.
Looks good to me. You know, I will find a picture like on Pinterest or Instagram or something that I really like and I really want to try. So I save it and then I start doodling on it and then I have to put it up. So the next time I get it out, it goes my direction, whatever, direction I decide to take it because I forgot what I was doing.
Well, and see, that's what I think that whole, Pinterest thing is for, though. It just kind of gives you the inspiration to get started.
Yeah.
And I mean, because half of that stuff, like I looked around to get ideas for flowers, knowing full well that the flowers I was looking at, they were stamps.
Yeah.
No, trust me, the out of hand won't let me. Doesn't give you a lot of leeway, does it, of me?
So I was working on something the other day, and I like to, when I'm doodling and adding little bits of color the way I doodle, I like fluorescent pink, yellow, and green in things. Did
Okay.
you know that they do not copy?
Really?
I ended up,
I
scanned and they didn't scan right. And I cleaned the screen and scanned again. It still didn't clean right. So I took him down to Staples and did the scan and emailed it to myself. And the pink was pink, but it really didn't get the fluorescent look to it at all. And I was really disappointed. But everything I tried, the fluorescent part of it just never showed up. I was kind of sad.
You know what? If it's you're copying and printing it,
yeah,
because there's not like a fluorescent. You get those the red, the magenta, the cyan, and the yellow, and there's really nothing fluorescent in any of the toners.
Yeah.
That's
now they did have when I went to look, of course I Googled something like printers that'll print fluorescent, and they got to be out there, but they're probably like super expensive.
Right.
And they did have fluorescent inks, but the thing with that is they were inks you would put in there and fill them yourself. And I was kind of like, I don't know. I can't refill my cartridges or use something else because I use the HP ink.
I don't know how that reminded me, but my mom got me probably one of the most thoughtful and practical Christmas gifts. And I didn't even realize, I know she had come in and looked around the studio maybe once or twice when she visited here.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently when she looked down at the printer and got the printer number, because for Christmas, she got me ink.
Oh, well, that's cool.
And I just thought that was the coolest thing, because it's not cheap,
Yeah.
So just kind of, it was something very dad that she did, I thought, well, she's coming around. And Ken's a pretty practical gifter too, but it was funny because he was talking about Vicky's having a birthday coming up in a few days. And he was saying, oh, well, I'm thinking about getting her this and this. And I'm like, well, does she like that? Well, no, I don't know. But I think it would be something that she could use. Well, Ken, what does she like? We know she likes calligraphy and, dip pens and stuff like that. And why don't we just, get her a gift card to Jet Pens? Well, yeah, but I want to get her something, just something unique. And I'm like, why don't you just get her what she likes?
Now, see, to me, getting a gift certificate to Jet Pens is unique.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people like to do like the Amazon gift cards and stuff like that, which is really great. Like with me, if I get an Amazon gift card, then I'm like, okay, that is my license to go out and just treat myself to something on Amazon that isn't, shampoo or toilet paper, or something groceries. Like that.
Yeah.
Groceries. Right. So, and with Jet Pens, I mean, that's just something where it's like, great, now you can really get on there and get yourself a big bottle of Diamine ink or just a straight up splurge, Oh, thank you, Arlene. I'm having a really good time here. I needed this.
I did too. Has it been 2 weeks since we done this, or has it been 3?
I think it's been 3.
That's what I was thinking too. Maybe soon we'll all be able to get back on at the same time again. That'll be good.
Yeah. We're going to have to. Otherwise, I'm going to just, get too laid back and relaxed. I'm not going to be ready for Kathy to play a joke on me,
Yeah.
Can't have that.
No. You're easy. You're an easy mark. I'm sorry.
I know. She says that all the time. I just fall for it. I just realized when Allie sees this, she's going to absolutely have a fit.
The picture or the book?
The picture. She likes doodly flowers.
Cool.
So hopefully it will make her happy. Oops. Too much water. We'll fix that.
Thanks for stopping by, Kim. That's right, Arlene. Christy Goble Bettleson.
I like to think of myself as trusting.
Trusting Goble, what's the difference?
Not much, but it just sounds nicer to me. Matter of fact, there isn't really any difference at all. Oh, gosh. I gotta find some purple. Pansy. That works. Pansies are purple, right? Something like that.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Actually, pansies are a lot of colors.
Well, Ceram Code apparently thinks they're blue or purple or God, whatever that color is.
Most of the time they are purple, but I've seen yellow and orange.
Okay.
If you use black on your sponge and don't clean it, all your other colors get grayed out. I kind of like that.
Ooh, that stencil.
I know, it's got everything.
I don't know what is making me happier right now, the stencil or your hands.
I'll let you have both.
What was it that Kara said about having painty hands? Something about that it just gives her so much joy to see people with painty hands.
I don't know. On one of my artist statements that I had to make for a big show I was in, and that was my artist quote: "If you can't get into it up to your elbows, it's not worth doing."
That sounds like a motto for parenting.
I'd rather get in up to my elbows and paint. Thank you.
I know.
Parenting did it. I mean, unfortunately, it doesn't ever stop. It's always. You're always going to worry about your kids. You're always going to wonder where they're at, what they're doing, that they're safe. That's where I'm at now, is that they're safe.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I'm finding myself worrying about everybody to that regard,
Yeah. Well, I used to, it took me a long time to convince my kids, I don't want to know everything you're doing. I don't want to know everyone you're with. And I don't want to know everywhere you are. I just want to know you're safe.
Yeah.
That's all I want. And it takes them forever to figure that out.
Lori Marie Jenkins wrote a book, The Girl with Painted Hands. See, and I'll bet that's amazing too. Lori Marie Jenkins is just, she's a very, very gifted woman, to say the least. My dad used to always say to me, it's like, don't get into any trouble. Now I just tell my daughter, it's like, okay, don't do anything stupid. You're going to get in trouble. Just don't do anything stupid. Don't whiz on the electric fence or anything like that.
And then when you have grandkids, it's a whole different thought process. It really is. I think it is. My daughter will complain about things my grandson does, and I'm like, he never does that at my house. Well, she has an excuse for that, and I don't believe that that's the real reason. I think that I pick my battles. That's right. Something I should have learned when I was younger.
That's something I think too, that I used to think, oh my gosh, when I had Allie, I was 37 and I waited too long and all this kind of stuff. No, I'm glad, because things aren't nearly as big of a deal,
Yeah. I think age has a lot to do with it. Yes.
Yeah, it's like you spill something, get a towel. I mean, it's not a big deal. On the same token, being a nurse for 25 years now, it's like, I stay scared about enough. But, as far as like stuff that would have gotten me in an absolute heap of trouble, it's just not that big of a deal now. It's,
yeah.
I don't want her to look back at being a kid and remember, being afraid of what her parents were going to do. And, she's got to get in a little bit of trouble. I mean, that's part of being a kid. That's,
She has to figure out how to sneak around and learn to do it the other way, I mean,
exactly.
That sounds terrible, but she does. She needs to, she also needs to find out how to get by with things, and because that's what life is going to give her.
Well,
I don't mean it ugly, but
the best innovations in the world were made by rule breakers.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody at some point told Picasso to stay inside the lines, and he made it his life's mission to flip the bird at them.
Yeah.
That's what I want my kid to do.
Makes sense. And like my husband will get cranky because, well, I can't believe they think like that, or, not that I'm getting political. We're not even saying that. I'm just saying. And I'm like, what did we do? We raised them to be independent thinkers. And now they're being an independent thinker and you don't like it. And that just drives me crazy.
Well, I mean, if everyone thought the same, what a boring world it would be, right? I mean,
oh, yeah.
That's, and again, not to get political, but it frustrates me to see that they're trying to kind of put some limitations on things that kids learn in school. But then again, you're only in school a few hours a day. I mean, and that's when I was telling Ken, I was like, this is so frustrating. Where are they going to learn it? And Ken laughed. He's like, not school all the time. And I'm like, hey, you got a point there.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a very, very good point.
Well, and some of the things they don't teach kids are history, and that old saying, those that don't know are doomed to repeat it.
Yep. Oh, trust me, I get a lot of calls from my family overseas right now. And I'm like, well, you know, if you can find a way to get through the heads of how many million people are in this country, it's like, if you can't, then you just have to sit back and enjoy the ride.
Yep.
Going back to grandparents, I'll tell you what, though, especially with my dad, because I remember, you know, you're always worried that dad was going to get mad at you and all this other stuff. That little girl in there could do no wrong. Oh, hey, Janice. And I mean, even if, you know, she did something that was obviously unsafe and all sorts of wrong, well, don't be so hard on her, Chris. She's just a kid.
Yeah.
You know, and all the, you know, well, don't eat too many sweets. It's not good for you. And then he would come over with milkshakes and French fries. And I'm like, you know what? You're grandpa. And it's like you've spent your entire life raising us, doing the best you can, working your butt off and trying to protect us. I think you can give the kid a few milkshakes. I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I say it's like grandkids are your reward for being a good parent.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
There's been a time or two when I've told my son-in-law that he needs to chill out if they're at my house. Didn't always go over good, but him and I get along really well for the most part, so it's really okay. But it was funny, you know. He was making a fit, and he didn't really need to make a fit about what he was making a fit about, but it was my house and it was Easter, and that's the only holiday that I guaranteed will have them all at my house. You know, they got families other ways and all that, and I get it, but Easter's at my house. So by golly, they needed to back down. They weren't going to mess my Easter up. But it's kind of funny, I think, because I feel like, and maybe it just comes from been there, done that, but I sort of feel like where my grandson's concerned, he has to be handled in a different way, and it's so much easier than when my kids were little. You know, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of weird. But the things they complain about him doing, I'm like, he never does that around me. But, you know.
Yeah. You know, and come to think about it, I mean, I know for the most part, Allie would mind herself around my mom and dad. But on the same token, there were some times where she would have an absolute fit because she knew she could.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you know. Oops. That didn't go well. I got cocky. Messed up my daisy. Your grandchildren are the only ones that know where grandma keeps the chocolate. That is how it should be. Janice says she gave her grandkids ice cream for breakfast. See, and I mean that's I don't know. And it may be just that I'm weird. I enjoyed seeing my parents loosen up like that. You know, especially my dad when he was alive, just to watch him really have fun with Allie it was nice.
Yeah. The way I look at it, I waited almost 50 years to be a grandma. By golly, I need to take advantage of what's left, you know?
Exactly.
I didn't have my kids just to not be a good grandma.
Yep. One of my best memories of my dad, and you know, I don't really remember, like, my dad would be working in the yard and stuff like that, and I'd go out and help him, but I don't really remember dad, like, you know, coloring or doing anything like that with me. And I came out one time, and my dad was sitting at the table with Allie with those little, those paint things that make dots.
Yes.
Like little sponsor daughter things.
Uh-huh.
Him and Allie had paper plates and papers and dots, and she had dotted my dad all over his face. And I have a picture of him laughing, and it's still to this day one of my favorite pictures. Like the two of them had the biggest grins on their faces. I don't know if I ever had seen him having that much fun. And it's just, I will always, always remember that. Even if I lose every other memory, I will remember my dad with paint dots all over his face. It was great. It really was. I hope she remembers that. I know I've got a picture of that in her memory box, but I'm thinking that I'll probably like do a canvas of it. So like when she gets her first apartment or something, not in college, because they'll pick on her, but like outside of college. So she has that, because I think that would be, I want her to remember that. Not all of us grown-ups are stuffy.
Yeah. Okay, so I have so much paint on my hands I can't open my phone with my print.
Uh-oh. Do you got some alcohol or some hand sanitizer?
Yeah, I can put the code in. I just thought it was funny.
Well, I think it looks fabulous. Okay, Arlene, have a good one.
Bye, Arlene. Thanks for coming.
This is one of my favorite things to do with art journal pages. How silly is that?
What, painting them?
Inking the edges of the pages.
Okay,
I know
that's pretty silly.
It just makes me happy. It's like it just adds that little something,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my little animals on here. How much you want to bet Kara went to get ice cream?
She probably would have ordered it. I doubt that she's leaving the house today.
Maybe she has someone that can go get it for. Doesn't she have like an ice cream shop or something that's close to her?
I think so.
All right. Like that. All right. I'm going to ink the sides of this too. Yep, I'm going to ink the side of that. two little guys on here.
Oh, that's cute. So that's your first page in your brand new art journal, huh?
Yep. And of course, I had to put an elephant and a piggy on it.
Well, of course. That's okay.
Well, considering that I ended up with, I think I have a couple of the books where I've got pages like in my little fussy cut file. So I've got a feeling that Gerald and Piggy are going to show up on a few other pages too. Where am I going to put Gerald? We'll put you right there.
He looks quite happy there.
Oh, Piggy's even happier. Yeah. There's Piggy.
Oh, yes.
I'm right there. Piggy's going to be in midair, man.
Well, you should have tried him on the stem of your flower. Maybe he was pole dancing.
How about that?
Yeah, he's pole dancing.
There you go. Nothing like a pole dancing piggy in my art journal.
That's why the elephant's so happy.
Oh, yes. Here we go. I love it.
That is so cute. And it really looks like he's pole dancing.
Side there. I've got to make sure to take a picture of this for Barbara.
Yeah.
I think that Gerald is looking at Piggy with a slight amount of disapproval because Piggy is, you know, pole dancing.
But Piggy's so happy to find the perfect size of pole to dance with.
I know. You know, that's a big struggle that I have. Can never find the right size pole. And in the theme of the page, there's a big splotch of yellow paint right over the H and D. I like it.
I like it.
Big orange flower for Jean. Put a flower for me. Gotta find a way to
pole dancing pig.
Mm-hmm. What's today, the 10th?
Yes, ma'am.
Date there. Yeah, in most of the books, Gerald tends to be the voice of reason, and Piggy is not. So I think Piggy's name is just Piggy, I think. If I remember right.
Well, I'd never even seen him or heard of him, so.
Oh, you're kidding. Oh, I've got to send you one of the books. Oh, is it the best one? It was the first Mo Willems book that I read to Allie. Goldilocks and the Three Dinosaurs. And the book has so much. Out of all the books, I mean, the author has ways of doing that in some of the other books, but I think out of all the ones, and I know we've read dozens of them to Allie, but especially that one, it's got like a lot of, I don't know if innuendo is the right word, but it's almost written for a grown-up to read it to a kid and for the grown-up to just absolutely crack up laughing. Because it makes like little asides about Goldilocks being, like unusually unsupervised kid, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And just some of the little remarks that he makes, it's very hard to read without cracking up. But my first experience of I think I told you about this when I read to Allie when she was in the NICU. And thought, oh, well, I'll go ahead and read Alice in Wonderland. Because I never really sat down and finished it. And if you have to sit and read that book out loud, you all of a sudden realize Lewis Carroll was a messed up individual.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't even realize it. But what they would do is like I would start reading and they moved. There were a lot of kids that would, they were either like, up for adoption, that type of thing. And so they didn't really have folks that came in and read to them. So the nurses would kind of bring all the little isolates over and sort of open so they could hear the voice reading. And I just remember it was one night where there were probably like 4 or 5 little isolates around me, and there was a nurse doing her charting and stuff. And I remember looking at her and saying, was he on acid? And the nurse looked at me, she said, took you long enough to figure it out. I was like, I didn't even. I guess he was.
My daughter loves Alice in Wonderland. When she was in theater, they did that play and she was Alice. And I had no idea until then how dark that really was.
It is, it really is. And when you're reading it, it's like, the younger you are when you're reading it, the more whimsical it is. But when you get older, you can kind of see the other side of it. And, even when I read it to Allie now, she'll just say, Mommy, that's just nothing but nonsense. That poem, that the big joke in our house is like, if I'm really stiff one day or I'm having a flare, we'll say that I'm a Father William. The poem, I think it's from Through the Looking Glass. You are old, Father William, and we just laugh about that. But Jabberwocky, oh, that's a fun one. The Walrus and the Carpenter is a little bit dark. Oh, who am I kidding? It's really dark, but...
Is that a story or is in Alice?
It's one of the poems in Alice. And it's talking about where they kind of lure these oysters to come and play with them. And then at the end, it's like, okay, well, now that we've lured you, now we're probably going to eat you, okay? I'm reading that to Allie, and she's like, Mom! Yeah, that is pretty bad, isn't it? Sorry about that, kid.
I don't think I've read the actual book.
It's really interesting. Just to, like I said, it's and the older you are when you read it, the more interesting it is.
Yeah. I made a Jekyll and Hyde journal. It was one of my first ones that I'd made with a printable. And of course, I added a lot of my own things to it. And I knew nothing about it. I hadn't read it. I'm not a big reader. And so I did a little bit of research about the author. And I was just completely floored at the things I learned. I mean, it was just... it's kind of, the storyline is kind of based on truth.
You mean with Lewis Carroll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his life growing up was awful. And I mean, it was just, and the more I read, the more I wanted to know,
Yeah. Yeah. His story is sad and a little, I mean, he was a tortured soul.
Yes. Yes, he was.
Him and what was the other guy that the Metamorphosis? Kafka. Now he had trouble too. That was one that I had to read about in college, and I was just like, wow. Like when you think you're having a bad day.
I'm one that kind of roots for the underdog a lot. And that's why I'm so fascinated with Billy the Kid. I keep telling my husband, but honey, he was misunderstood.
Yep. Well, and most people in very similar circumstances are. I mean, it's not like you just get up one day and decide.
Yeah.
Let's go shoot up a store, or let's go and, write about dreams that, would keep everyone else up for the rest of their lives,
Mm-hmm. But honestly, from everything I've read, and if anybody ever knows different, I don't want to know it because it's my thought process and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah.
He never shot anybody other than self-defense until he shot the sheriff.
But I did not shoot the deputy. And I mean, come on.
Everybody was out looking for him and wanting to shoot him down, but everything he had done had been self-defense up to that point. So I'm so fascinated with him. I actually went to his gravesite on his birthday.
Really? What was that like?
I was the only one there.
Oh, wow.
It was cool. I mean, I have quite a collection of stuff that I would love to do a journal, but I don't know when. Maybe when I retire.
You could do a journal of the underdogs.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually looked up Frank Zappa the other day because I found a quote of his that I thought was so cool. And I didn't realize he died really young of prostate cancer.
Yeah.
I had forgotten about that. And I wouldn't say that we have more underdogs than we used to. I think we just are in a society where you're going to hear about them more,
Yeah.
So I can't tell what he put on here as a grade. But the last entry is 1905. I wish I could find that page where he wrote, where the teacher, she liked him really good. Here it is. Make your title more prominent. Look to spelling and writing. Yep.
So what grade did he get on it?
I can't tell. I mean, the grades aren't written. Like it looks like a 10 there. And then, but when you look at this, and maybe there's some kind of, alphabet or something that I didn't learn about in college, or I forgot a whole lot more than I learned in college. Okay. So now look at that. What the heck is that?
Yeah, really.
I mean, if anybody knows. Pills of rhubarb. What in God's name would you take pills of rhubarb for?
Oh, I'm sure it does something good for you. Or did at some point. They have pills of cinnamon. They have pills of all kinds of things. Cranberries.
Liqueurs. Goodness. Yeah. Oh, hold on just a second. All right, Miss Jean, I am being paged for chow.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
And it is a
I didn't
stir fry.
even know what time it was, so I looked up there real quick. So
yeah, I will definitely get this shown to Barbara. You want to show off your pictures?
That's okay. I did earlier. Right now, it's just a mess right here. But I have a good stack of finished.
Is that one of those Crafters Workshop stencils that does those little circles?
Maybe.
Okay.
Probably.
Oh, wow. Yep.
Probably.
Okay.
Because most of what I have, Stencil Girl, Crafters Workshop, and Joggles. That's about the only place I've ever bought them. Because you can't buy any kind of stencils around here. It all had to be ordered. So, but I still have a small stack. It still needs work. So I'll probably leave my mess. Because you know why? I can. And all I have to do is shut the door. So, thank you, everyone.
Yeah. I'm glad Amy was able to at least relax and listen for a little bit. So,
Yep.
Jean, thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming, and thank you, everyone, for showing up and hanging out with us, and we will see you again.
You guys take care. Bye. Thank you, Jean. Bye.
Bye.